When it's Tuesday, it's the Raw Leadership Talk. Welcome. Today, Leadership Talk, Raw Leadership Talk, 1st of September. It's a new month, September 2020. Where are you watching us from? Can you let me know? Where are you watching from? Is it Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Kampala, Dar es Salaam, South Africa, West Africa, North Africa, Europe, the United States of America, South America, Asia? Where are you watching the Raw Leadership Talk from? Thank you, Pamtash, sorry, watching from Nairobi. If you're tuned in, kindly say something. Well, invite your friends. And let's today begin a new month in style as we look at basics for effective leaders. Basics for effective leader. It's a new month. It's a new home studio. It's a new series, Basics for Effective Leaders. Thank you, Salem Lorot, tuning in from Nairobi. Phyllis Odhiambo, watching from Mombasa. Michael Masinde, watching from Nairobi. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Let's keep coming. Do you have a friend who is a leader or an aspiring leader, whether religious, political, or in the corporate sector or community? Invite them now to this talk. Simon Gets Locked in Diani, thank you for watching. Right in my county, Kwale County. Thank you, Simon Getz, for representing home. Invite friends, even as we begin this new series on basics for effective leaders. For the next 5 Tuesdays, we are going to look at basics for effective leaders. Remember, September has 5 Tuesdays. So it's going to be very exciting as we look at basics for effective leaders. I can assure you that you're going to learn something very, 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 very wonderful. Where are you tuning in from? Where are you watching the Raw Leadership Talk from? Aisha Abubakar, tuning from Mombasa. Thank you, Aisha, for being here. Thank you very much for being here. When it's Tuesday, it's the Raw Leadership Talk, and today, 1st of September, a new month, we begin a new series on basics for effective leaders. You know, it is J. Oswald Sanders who said it first. The leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. It is about influencing others in a worthwhile cause. It's not dependent on title or position. Leadership is not dependent on titles or position. It is dependent on someone catching a vision and mobilizing others to join them in its fulfillment. Others catching a vision, or someone catching a vision, and mobilizing others to join them in its fulfillment. Now, when this happens, leadership arises in its purest form. When this happens, leadership arises in its purest form. And so today I want us to look at basics for effective leaders. Now, you will agree with me, leadership is influence. It happens to every organization at one point or another, especially when there is no system or plan. In those times, there is no expectation of progress. That's when leadership arises in its purest form. Now, let me tell you this, that today, many regions of the world are crying for godly, effective leaders. Many regions of the world are crying for godly, effective leaders. But the leader must earn the right to lead, and others choose to follow. The leader must earn the right to lead. When the leader allows himself to arise and do the right thing, then he will earn the right to lead. There is the bottom line of trust in leadership, and then people will choose to follow. People will choose to follow. So basics for effective leaders, and today I want us to look at the first thing as far as basics for effective leaders is concerned. You need to know that effective leaders, they perceive a need. Effective leaders, they perceive a need. This is what we're going to look at today. And I want to draw your attention into this subject, that effective leaders perceive a need. Effective leaders perceive a need. When leadership is pure, it always starts with a need. When leadership is pure, it always starts with a need. A person sees a particular need. A person sees a particular problem, and that problem draws his or her attention. A person sees a particular challenge. It could be in the nation, it could be in the community, it could be in a corporate setup, it could be in a business setup, or even in a religious setup. But a person always, when leadership is pure, it always starts with a need. A person sees a challenge, sees a particular need that needs to be addressed. Then what happens? That need sparks passion within a person. He just doesn't see a need and stops there. Most people see needs. Leaders see needs and look at ways on how they can respond. The needs spark passion within that particular person. It's not just a need at that moment, because he begins to feel something needs to be done to address this particular need. So when leadership is pure, it starts with need. Never forget that. It starts with the need. You look around you in your environment, wherever you go, you see things that needs to be solved, or you see a particular thing that you think it needs to be solved. It needs to be addressed. A particular challenge or a problem that needs to be addressed. And then that particular need sparks passion within a person. That particular need sparks passion within a person. Then that person acts in response to the need. Now, here's where the issue comes in. You don't just see a need. It doesn't spark passion and then stops there. No. You begin to respond. You act in response to that particular need. And what happens? This action makes others to cooperate. This action makes others to cooperate. Now, these are the steps to pure leadership. Leaders perceive a need. Effective leaders perceive a need. It starts with a need. That need sparks passion within a person, and then that person acts in response to the need, and then what happens? This action makes others to cooperate. And today I want us to look at the example of the late Nobel laureate Wangari Maathai. In the 80s and in early 90s, there was a lot of land grabbing in this country. Now, land grabbing went to the extent of people beginning to grab water catchment areas, parks, and even forests. Wangari Maathai, she was an environment par excellence. It was not just an academic thing. Professor Wangari Maathai was an environmentalist at heart. She could not allow parks to be grabbed. One of those parks that maybe today we won't have them was Uhuru Park. During those days, there were plans to build buildings, business, commercial buildings inside Uhuru Park. She couldn't hear any of that. Together with her Green Belt movement, she mobilized people and went ahead to demonstrate and say, this park cannot be grabbed even an inch. But that was not the only thing. Most of you know of Karura Forest. Wangari Maathai could not allow Karura Forest to be grabbed. She was beaten, she was imprisoned, she went through a lot of torture from the government of the day then. But Wangari Maathai saw not only the present during that time, but the future of this particular country. What was the move? She saw a need. She saw a need that trees needed to be planted in this country. Environment needed to be conserved in this country. But that need didn't just stop there. It sparked a passion within her, and then she acted in response to that particular need. And other people, her action moved other people, including embassies and governments of the world, to respond to what she was doing and cooperated with her. Due to international, force and mobilization that she did, Uhuru Park today is still there. Karura Forest today is still there. She suffered for what she believed. She mobilized the women to plant trees to conserve the environment. Let me tell you this. When leadership is pure, it starts with a need. And that need sparks passion within a person. Somebody acts in response to that need, and then that action makes others to cooperate. That action makes others to cooperate. But this leads me again to another story. When I saw it on television, I thought that is leadership in its purest form. Remember during this time of COVID-19, when the president issued or instructed, gave an instruction that there will be cessation of movement from in and out of Nairobi, and roadblocks were placed in the neighboring counties, the counties that neighbor Nairobi. There were security officers that were manning those roadblocks. And in one of those roadblocks, which is in Athi River, Machakos County, women or a woman who was passing there looked at the police men and women who were manning that roadblock. And she thought to herself, these security officers have to be here 24/7. Around here, there are no restaurants, there are no shops that they can buy anything. And she went ahead and mobilized a few other friends, prepared food. And every day they used to come and serve the security officers, gave them food, gave them water for free. Well, that was an act of generosity. It was an act of kindness. But let me tell you, that was leadership in its purest form. That was leadership in its purest form. Just like Wangari Maathai, how she was moved to conserve the environment to the level of being honored and receiving the Nobel Peace Prize for her work. These women may not receive any reward here on earth, but God in heaven will surely reward them for their generosity. When leadership is pure, ladies and gentlemen, it always starts with a need. That need sparks passion within a person. The person acts in response to the need, and then that action makes others to cooperate. That action makes others to cooperate. Let me ask you today, when you hear the many needs around you, which one strikes a chord within your heart? When you hear the many needs around you, which one strikes a chord within your heart? Which one strikes a chord within your heart? The greatest problem with a lot of people is that we want other people to solve the needs around us. What needs do you see? It could be, so much pollution in your neighborhood. It could be insecurity around your neighborhood. It could be the need to bring young girls in your community together and just give them 1 hour or 2 hours every Saturday, and encourage them to stay sound and live their lives in the right way. It could be the need to bring the boy child together and put sense inside them so that they can do the right thing. When you hear the many needs around you, which one strikes a chord within your heart? Which one strikes a chord within your heart? Is there a problem you can solve? Do you have a solution for anything that is going wrong in this world? But leave the world wrong. Maybe you will say the world is so big. What about in your neighborhood? What about in your constituency? What about in your church? Could it be in your corporate organization? There is a particular thing that you can actually do to solve or to address a particular need. I want you to be creative and think outside the box. But why the box? Hit the box and just think and begin to observe the many needs that are around us. What is that need that you can be able to address? Now, what kind of a specialist are you? What kind of a specialist are you? Because the area of your specialization is directly tied to the needs that you can address. Is directly tied to the needs that you can address. We are going to a place where it's not just about your academic qualifications. It will be the solutions you bring to the problems that are in that particular corporate organization or in that particular community or in that particular nation. So activate yourself. Move beyond your capacity to address small things and begin to structure yourself to address those small things and go ahead to grow your capacity to address even bigger things. You are able to do this because leadership arises in its purest form when you can be able to see a need and allow that need to spark passion within you. Then you act in response to that need and then move to that level where your action begins to cause others to cooperate. So what kind of a specialist are you? What kind of a specialist are you? What kind of a specialist are you? What will you do before you die? And what will be your significant contribution? What will you do before you die? And what will be your significant contribution? Nobody knows, ladies and gentlemen, the time of departure from this planet Earth. The truth is, it could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be next month, it could be next year. We keep rehearsing in this life, forgetting that we are not the ones who have the authority to continue living. That authority is with God. What will you do before you die. Most people want to die and then say, I've left a legacy. No, you begin to leave your legacy right now. What kind of legacy would you like to leave? Begin to leave that legacy right now. Allow your thoughts, your words, and your action to develop the kind of legacy you want to leave in this particular world. Don't wait. Don't wait until you die for people to search exactly what is that good thing that you left on this planet Earth. Leadership is very, very key. And each one of us can lead and influence in our own way if we choose to do that. Why? Because each one of us can solve a particular problem. So what will you do? What will you do before you die? And what will be your significant contribution? You see, we remember Wangari Maathai, we remember Nelson Mandela, we remember many other people for whatever they did, whether it was politically, socially, religious, or even in the world of business. But what will people remember you for? Today, it's a call for us. Even as we look at basics for effective leaders, it's a call for you and me to begin doing something to address the many needs that are around us. It could be impossible for you to address the needs that are around you. But let me tell you, if you want to arise in leadership in the purest way, then you need to begin solving the problem or addressing a particular need that is around you. Addressing a particular need that is around you. So I challenge you today. I challenge you to begin looking around and see what is that you can do for your community. What is that you can do for your nation? What is that you can do for your corporate organization? It could be something extra beyond what you are paid for. What is that you can do for your church or for your mosque? What is that you can do around you? There is definitely something that if you are clear about, you can begin to address and move yourself to the next level of leadership. Move yourself to the next level of leadership. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin this journey. Basics for effective leaders. Effective leaders, they pursue a need. Effective leaders pursue it. So I'd like to encourage you to visit our website, www.publicspeakingtc.org, and see the kind of programs that we have there. This month, we are doing an intake for the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth that is set to commence on the 17th of September. And this is an online program which you can join and do it from the comfort of your home. But at the same time, we are doing an intake for the professional speakers course that is designed to shape you and equip you to become a great communicator, a great speaker indeed. Remember, leaders need to be good communicators. And this is going to begin on the 14th of September. We encourage you to visit our website and register. Drop a message to us, drop an email, and we are going to respond to you. But I encourage you also to like our Facebook pages, like my page, Dan Mugera, and also the Africa Center for Public Speaking page, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad that you could be able to tune in today. And when it's Tuesday, you know it's the Raw Leadership Talk. It's the Raw Leadership Talk. Thank you very much. And may God bless you. See you next Tuesday.